Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today we're reviewing Hitman, now streaming on Netflix. So Hitman is the newest film to hit the platform. This premiered a couple months ago. I think it actually premiered last year, and I saw it had really good reviews, so I was really hyped to check this one out. This one stars Glen Powell, who has really been on quite a tear recently. Ever since Top Gun Maverick, he feels like he's become like the new hot thing in Hollywood, so I was glad to see that he puts out another solid performance and something pretty different than what he's done in the past. And in this one, Glen Powell plays kind of a mild-mannered psychology professor who ends up working with his local police department in Louisiana to try and entrap people that are trying to hire hitman. And very early on in the film, he kind of gets thrown into a role where he has to play the hitman in these sting operations, and things quickly start to unravel from there. While this movie is billed as a comedy, I think it kind of blends a lot of genres. It's not like a pure laugh out loud comedy. It does have some dramatic elements to it, and I do think it does a really good job of balancing those two and interjecting some pretty good tension throughout. Richard Linklater directed this film, and I haven't watched a lot of his recent movies. I know they've kind of shifted more towards dramas. I did enjoy Boyhood, and looking back in the past, he did some really good comedies in the 90s and 2000s, so it's really interesting to see him kind of blend those two parts of his career, the dramatic films as well as kind of the comedic films, and this one kind of, like I said, feels like a really nice blend of those two genres. I think some of the best moments from this film really come from Glen Powell's performance. He has to balance his own real personality with those of the hitmen that he's created, and that creates for some really funny moments and some really interesting performances from him. There's moments where he's in some fully just ridiculous costumes, because he's trying to cater to what these individuals would see as like the perfect hitman. So some are the really over the top and ridiculous caricatures of kind of hitmen you've seen on television and in film. And in saying that, I think that Glen Powell's performance really carries this movie. I think without him, it wouldn't have been as special as a film as it is. I do think it's really well made, and I think the acting and direction, like I said, the tension is really well done, but I didn't necessarily love the overall ending of the film. I think it's kind of a personal preference. It feels kind of abrupt. Maybe it's to set up like a possible sequel in the future, but I do think the idea of how they kind of reached a climax in some way and then kind of quickly shifted off of it felt kind of strange to me. It felt like the movie was really well paced throughout, but kind of that last act really didn't nail it for me. Adria Arjona plays the love interest in this film, Maddie, and I think that her and Glen Powell had pretty good chemistry. I don't think her performance was nearly as good as his, but she doesn't have as much to work with. I think it's solid when they're on screen together, and it really helps elevate how you're feeling towards these characters and kind of what their motivations are, particularly for Gary's character that Glen Powell plays, because some of his motivations are kind of crazy. He really has a pretty wild character arc from the beginning of this film to the end. But overall, I enjoy this one. I think it, for the most part, lives up to the hype. Really, the only negative for me, like I said, I think the ending is a little bit abrupt, but I do think for the film being as long as it is, it's paced really well. It never feels slow, and the comedy never feels forced into it. It feels kind of natural, and it almost is kind of offbeat, like kind of a black comedy. So if you end up checking out this one, let me know what you thought about it. I always love to hear people's opinions, whether you liked it more than me or like it less. Remember to leave those comments down below. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.